No. Can really reach out. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. Exactly. Hi there, it's Katie again. Now, because you guys have been so patient, you've been giving me all this feedback and different topics and ideas that you want, I wanted to give you 2 videos this week because I know that a lot of times you want something covered and I'll add it to my list, but that could be, who knows, 2 months from now. We don't know, right? So this week we'll do 2 videos, and this topic is something that I'm sure all of us struggle with and deal with and are worried about how to manage it. And I'll give you some tips, but it's something that we'll have to revisit. It's kind of like the body image and the self-image topics that we go over. These are things that we have to consistently and continuously work on. And that is anxiety around food and how to manage it. I know that all of us have anxiety around food, especially when it involves other people. So if we're going to go out to lunch with some girlfriends, or we know that we have this meeting that we go to, maybe you go to a group session in the evening and you have to have dinner. I know a lot of treatment programs have that, and I think, to be honest, from the therapy side, it's great because you not only are staying with your meal plan and you have dinner, but then you have groups, so you get time to kind of vent about it and talk about what you're feeling, what emotions came up. And I know that there's a lot of anxiety around food. So how do we deal with it, right? I'm sure some of you may have tricks and tips and things that work for you. So leave the comments below. But things that I always tell my clients, and this is something that sometimes you have control over, because obviously we know we can't control everything. That's just overwhelming, right? And that doesn't work. So the first thing you can do is, when you know that you're going to be in a situation around people that makes you even more anxious than before. Like if you're rating your anxiety on 0 to 10, this makes you like an 8, just knowing that you're going, a 10 when you're there. Pick safer foods. And I know your dietitian is going to yell at you and say, you shouldn't do that. You should just challenge yourself, challenge, because that's what they do. But I'm the therapist, and we're usually the softer side. And I say, stick with a safer food. If you know you're going to be out with people who make you anxious, now is not the time to try that one food that you haven't eaten since you had your eating disorder and you think it's a bad food and you're trying to challenge yourself. Now is not the time to challenge. Now is the time to stick with your meal plan, eat what you planned, and go for it, right? Just get through the meal, the dinner, the lunch, the whatever. So that's my first tip, is making sure that you recognize that now is not a good time to be challenged. Challenges are great. And they are things that I love to hear about. I've been hearing some feedback, especially on Facebook. I have one of you is telling me about the challenges that you're giving yourself and how you're overcoming them, and that is great. But make sure that we pick the right time, right? We don't want to set ourselves up for failure. The second thing that we can do is the same way we rate our hunger fullness. I don't know if any of you do that, but a lot of times I have my patients rate their hunger fullness. We're going to rate our anxiety level. So when we get up in the morning, let's say we know we're going to have lunch with a group of people. My anxiety, it's at a 3. Okay, now I'm getting ready. I shower, I get dressed. I'm like, it's at a 5. I get in my car, I'm heading there. I'm like, it's a 6, it's a 7. Pay attention to how you feel. It's okay. Those emotions are normal. But then what do? My anxiety, if my anxiety reaches above a 6, I probably need to do something to bring it down, because we know once it peaks, it just keeps going, right? We're all the way into a 10, but we want to keep it down in a manageable amount. So what we're going to do, we're going to call that person who's really helpful and supportive, that good friend where you can call and you'd be like, I'm freaking out right now. I need you to calm me down. And they know what to say and they know what to do. We can also put on a relaxing music mix. I know that many of us have that really mellow music, not sad music, relaxing music. Sometimes music without words. I personally, there's a radio station in LA that has this jazz. And sometimes when I get stressed, because, driving is stressful and life is stressful, I put it on and, I chill out to my music, right? And there's no words, so there's nothing I can even do to it. So that's something that I do. And I know which channel that is. And I jazz out, right? So you should find some music that you can really just mellow out to. and use that. We have tools. I know that you know how to help yourself, right? Okay, so we're not challenging ourselves when we're going to a high anxiety situation. We're going to use our tools that we've used for our anxiety in general. What else can we do? The next tip that I would give you is to breathe. Take your time. I know at dinners, after I've done group, a lot of people shut off. We've disassociated. We are just focused. We are just going to eat this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get out of here. We're not even talking. Take your time. Breathe. We have to fight back. The voices get loud and it tells us, you're horrible, you're terrible. Talk about it. Talk out loud. There's people there to support, right? You're with a friend. You're like, so what did you do? Tell me about what you did last week. We have to distract ourselves. Distracting is one of the best tools for everything, from our urge to binge, urge to purge. Wow, that rhymes. And, urge to restrict, as well as cutting, isolating, all sorts of things that we do to harm ourselves. We have to distract. Talk to people. Look up. You're obviously there eating with people. That's what's making your anxiety go crazy. We have to engage. You have to force yourself to have a question that you always ask. Something that I had a client always ask, like I just said, what'd you do yesterday? What'd you do last week? Ask somebody that, because it's not a yes and no question. They will tell you about it, and try to really engage in what they're telling you. Try to picture what they're talking about. Okay? And if you're dissociating, if you're completely shutting out and you're like hovering above your body, try to notice what you smell, what you feel, where your legs are hitting the chair. We have to bring ourselves back down. That was a great tip that was left on one of my other videos from a viewer. So thanks for that tip, because it's a way that we can bring ourselves back into the present. Okay? So what are we going to do if we're getting anxious about food? We have to sit down and we're getting all amped up. We're going to notice it. We're going to rate it, right? We're going to start to listen to our music. We're going to call that person that's really helpful. We're going to engage in conversation over the meal. We're going to bring ourselves back. We're going to feel. We're going to smell. We're going to do things like that, right? So those are ways that we can help ourselves. And as always, leave your comments. If you have things that work for you, let us all know, because this is just my experience and things that I've heard and dealt with in my own practice. But you have other great advice, and I would love to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that when I post other videos, you know about it. And also don't forget to check out my website, katiemorton.com. And let's just keep creating this positive environment as we work towards a healthy mind and a healthy body.